Hey guys, what's up? I'm the Raging Phoenix here. And so today I'm gonna be teaching you how to orient the last layer on the 3x3. Orient the last layer just basically stands for just putting all the yellow pieces on top. So you can just do this with simple algorithms, and I'm gonna be teaching you two look um, OLL this time. In two look OLL, you need to do just two algorithms so that you can just make the entire yellow face up. But there will be a lot of algorithms because of the many cases. So before you learn to look OLL, I will suggest learning F2L or any other cfop method. And if you have just learned OLL, then I pretty much recommend learning PLL because without PLL, OLL you can't do anything. So before we start OLL, it's not necessary to learn F2L, as you can do the first two layers using the beginner's method only, and that will be way more simpler for the beginners. So in this video, which will be called 2-look OLL, we'll be doing a step called first putting the edges up and then putting the corners up. So the yellow faces up, and then we are done with that. And the first step is to make all the edges yellow colors face up. So as you see, no edge is facing up. When this is the case, we call the dot. So for this case, all we do is do F. So we do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. So this is the first part of the algorithm. You'll understand why in some time later. And then there is, you get this. This is what I like to call the small r. So this small r, you do a slightly different algorithm, which is not much different, which is FW R U R prime U prime FW prime. So as you see, it's very similar. Instead of just an F, we do a FW, and that's it. So while in between we were doing the dot case, we also incurred the R case, which is also easy to solve with the algorithm you already learnt. But then comes the line case. In this case, it's also pretty similar to the dot case because instead of the FW, we have to do the only F algorithm. So F, R, U, R prime, F, U prime, F prime, and then we are done with the cross. So in OLL, you need to learn a lot of algorithms, which include of about 8 algorithms, discluding the other 2 algorithms we did there. And now we have seen this thing. So we need to do all of the corners up. So how will we do that? So we need to check our case. So the first case is this one corner is up. So now you need to check the right sides yellow is facing you or the left side. So as I see here, the right side is facing me. So I do the right soon algorithm, or what you'll call the soon. So R U R prime U R U to R prime. So you should practice that nicely and you'll be done with the first case of the OLL. So here's the second case, which is also called the anti-soon. It's just an opposite of what we have already done, the soon, and so it goes like this. L prime, U prime, L, U prime, L prime, U2, and then a L. So now we are done with all the yellow facing up, and then that is the second case. The next case is very similar to what we have already learned in the cross formation. So this is the case which I like to call the H. So when nothing of the yellow corners are facing up and both of these corners are facing parallel and both of these are parallel. So it kind of forms an edge. So now this is very similar to what we have done before. So it starts with a F and goes like this. R, U, R prime, U prime. Similar, right? But you don't end it off with an F. You do it once again. R, U, R prime, U prime, and once again. R, U, R prime, U prime. So you need to do R, U, R prime, U prime 3 times after you do the F, and then just do an F prime to finish it off. So if you would have seen there, I kind of did it wrong because all of these were facing up and then I did it. So I came back to the H case. So please just forgive me. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. So if you don't believe me, just check this and then I do the algorithm again and then it comes to the orientated state. So now we move on to the next case where two corners are facing up. So when two corners are facing up, you just need to check where they are, if they are diagonal or if they are adjacent. So in this case, they are diagonal, and then all you need to do is take one of these corners and put them in your right side. So once they are in the right side, just check if these two corners are facing towards this. So when you go on this corner, it faces towards there, so that's wrong, and this corner it faces towards you, so that's right. And now you need to do this algorithm. For this algorithm, you need to first move to the down to face the white, and then you go like this. R, U, R prime, D prime, R, U prime, R prime, D. This is one of the cases where there is no corners facing upwards. And for this, as you see, it's not the edge as these two are not facing parallel. So as you see, these two are facing the wrong way, and then you just do this algorithm by keeping these two which are facing like this here and here. If they are facing like that, keep them both on your right side and then do this algorithm. R U2 R2 U prime R2 U prime R2 U2 and a R, and then you're done with that. And as you see, all of the corners and edges are orientated. So now we move on to the next case, which is the T. So as you see here, these two pieces which are only left are, well, they are facing opposite and not parallel, and these two are already orientated. So now you see this might look like a T, and now you can do this algorithm. Keep this two which are not properly orientated on your left, and then go down again, and then do L U R prime U prime L prime U R U prime, and as you see, all of the pieces are orientated, and with it we also solve the entire cube. So now we can move on to the last and final case, which is the U. Instead of the T where they are facing adjacent and into a line, this one are facing parallel. So all you do is keep these both in front of you and do this algorithm. R2 a D, then R prime, U2 R, then a D prime, then R prime, U2 R prime. And as you see here, all of the colors are facing up, and here we are done with the final, well, algorithm. So now that you have learned OLL, I'll recommend slowly one by one learning each algorithm and getting it in your head, because because of this wide range of algorithms you may start forgetting some. At least this is what happened to me when I first learned OLL, and I would recommend that you straight off after learning OLL the full way, you go to PLL and learn that. as OLL will be no use unlike F2L, which can be used with the beginner's method. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be reminded whenever I upload a new video. And well, I'll be uploading the PLL video soon enough, so you should be sure to watch that after watching the OLL video.